Look what we have here. Woo! You all have been taking care of yourself. Oh, look at that. I love the perm. Very nice. And look at that. He got a new eye patch. Oh, everybody's looking great. Hiya, pals out there in Spaghetti Land. It's your old cool Gene Joey Royale. And RD, have I missed you? It's been a while. It's been a month. How you been? Yeah, you doing all right? Family's doing okay? I tell you, ups and downs, but we're here because it's a party. We're here to celebrate the good things in life. So, for an hour, give or take a minute, just put all those things aside and soak yourselves in the healing spring of marinara straight from the Mozzarella Mausoleum. We got an awesome show tonight. We always got an awesome show here tonight because I got my buddy Elena on the ones and twos keeping us in check. As always, we have my right hand man, the Neon Lord, all the way up north in New York, right on the border of Canada. And if you look in the middle of the night, you'll see him just dipping his toe right over the border because he loves Canada that much. Speaking of Canada, the one, the only, Kablooey, Shern Magic, a friend of mine for a long time online, and recently we finally got to meet each other face to face electronically because of the beauties of the internet. And then we got another home run. Woo! This is a cool one, man. Jefferson. All right. Jefferson D in the place to be. This guy is taking gaming to a whole other level. I'm talking C block, baby. We're taking the D20. Well, maybe not the D20. We're going to have to ask him about this. We're going to prison tonight. Yep. You just wait. That's going to be the little cliffhanger. What is he talking about, prison? Oh, you just wait. He's doing good deeds for those in need. Anyways, let's go into the crypt of cool. Okay, so I tell you what, it's been a ride, baby. It's been a ride from Granite Con with the Neon Lord to, oh, I'm still coming down. Last weekend, a beautiful weekend for Joe. Actually, not last weekend, the weekend before. All right, where is it? Right? How do I do this? I'm mirrored. Right there. Arcane Con, Northampton, Massachusetts. What a cool town. Beautiful food, wonderful people, very colorful and lively culture up there. It's a college town. They got all sorts of weird stuff going on. But our friend Arcane Brian of Arcane Sword Press, he was just on Dr. X's Half Hour of Power. And he's been on the show before too. Awesome guy, one of my best friends. He held his second annual Arcane Con. It was 2 days this week, a Friday and a Saturday, in an old church on a dark side road in Northampton, Massachusetts. It was amazing. I met all sorts of new friends, saw some old friends. It was this crew in Northampton. I love them dearly. They're wonderful people, creative masterminds, and just a great community. They all get together and they create games together. They play games together. My friend Eon, we got Arcane Brian, Arcane Ben, and then we got the Under the Dice crew, Hive Scum represent. I got to do a little interview with them. Just shout out to all those beautiful people, Blurs, all the punks up there. It was a great time. I got to run a game of Weird Heroes of Public Access, which was absolutely off the wall, gross and awesome. They saved the Fairhaven Children's Hospital for wicked sick children. That did not get smashed by the giant potato tumor, so everybody is okay. And then I ran my first game of Sunrat, Matt Ross's amazing Sunrat game. It's a whole new genre of gaming, I would say. It's in between tabletop role-playing game and a skirmish game, card flipping, minis, the whole 9 yards, but anything goes. Very rules light, but we had a blast there with a board I made over the summer. So I'll share some cool stuff. Oh boy, lost me. Elena, am I okay? And I told you to get out of my basement. You see what happened? They came. X-Tech came and they tried to shut me down, but we're back. Luckily, I had my taser gloves, so we're good. Okay, so that was Arcane Con. Beautiful job up there. Go to the small cons. They're wonderful. A great way to build a community and meet new friends and run some great games. There was a seat for everybody up there, and I mean that in more ways than one. I'll see some of you at PAX Unplugged this weekend. Me and my guy Elvis, my buddy, my son, we're taking the trip down to Philadelphia for Saturday only, and you'll be able to meet some of the sewer rats. Unfortunately, Neon Lord can't make it, but Hambone will be there. Tiger Wizard will be there. Ben and maybe Ted from Don't Tell Mom and Dad will be there. We'll be moving around and shaking, probably hanging out over by the Exalted booth. So come by and say hi. And if you utter the phrase Chow Paisan or anything related, you will get a special, exclusive Weird Heroes of Public Access gift that I'll be keeping on my person in my very secret briefcase. Let's talk about some cool things that I've been into that I think my friends might be into. Rock and roll is not dead. I am very happy and proud to say that because of these guys right here, the Viagra Boys. Please. If you're a fan of the show, you'll probably be a fan of Viagra Boys. These nuts from out there in Sweden are busting out some of the coolest, funnest, funniest punk rock music out there. Really interesting stuff. Runs the gamut from toxic masculinity to drugs to technology to shrimp. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it has it all. This is one of, I think, their newest. This is 2022, but this is a great one. This is Cave World. Great hits on here. Troglodyte, Punk Rock Loser, Ain't No Thief are some of my favorites. Do yourself a favor. Check these guys out. It really makes me proud to have a dad bod because this lead singer gets out there with the tracksuit pants, his big tattooed belly, his speed dealer sunglasses, and just shows everybody who's boss. There's even a saxophone player who wears hot pants. You'll love it. I guarantee it. Oh, boy. Hey, how about tooting my own horn for a second? This came out. This is the newest WHPA zine, Captain Midnight and the Satellite Dead. Quickly sold out. I had limited quantities, but I got more coming in the mail, so these will be in the Etsy very soon. This one I really had a good time with. This is when I was doing some research on signal interruptions. On the last page, it even has an actual document about how to steal HBO. A little outdated, but it's still fun. So check this out when it comes out in the Etsy. Captain Midnight and the Satellite Dead. Only 10 clams. I'm selling all of my zines, $10 across, no matter how many pages. Right here, my buddy, Paul of Cthulhu, the 15-year-old mastermind for the first Weird Heroes of Public Access Young Writers of Fairhaven Scholarship Prize. So he wrote it, I printed it, and this is going back up in his Etsy shop. It sold out almost immediately, but it's back up. He's got copies. So look up Paul of Cthulhu on Etsy for a copy of Beelzebub Hubbub, one of the craziest WHP adventures I've ever read. Also, my pals, Dark Guide Tony and Dark Guide Jay, the Mystic Punks, we got together and did a little Halloween jamboree, system agnostic, kind of Halloween junk for your games, all sorts of weird stuff in here. We got both the guys from Mystic Punks. We got John Hambone McGuire, and we got Levi Combs from Planet X Games. You can find this on my Etsy, their Etsy, and everything in between. Check it out. This was really fun to make. This is called Halloween Trash, and we hope to make this an annual event. There's that. And now, one of my favorite people in the world is also one of the kindest people in the world and very talented. And that's my buddy, Tiger Wizard. Tiger Wizard and I are working on a Mouse Ritter game, a bunch of pamphlets for Mouse Ritter Month on Backer Kit right now. Ours is called Tales from the Night Market, Tails. Tales from the Night Market for Mouse Ritter Month. You can find out on Backer Kit. We reached our goal. We're keep on going. We're doing some really cool stuff. He's pushing my needle, getting me out of my comfort zone. He is one of the coolest artists I know, and I said, "Oh, I can't wait to do a project with Tiger Wizard. He's one of the greatest artists I know. It's gonna look beautiful." But he goes, "Oh, no, 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 Joey, you pal, you are doing the paintings for this." So I'm down here. I got my acrylics and my dollar store panels, and I'm whipping up mice, and he's putting his artist glaze all over it. So that's gonna be cool. But it was my birthday the other day, and he sent me something. I haven't opened this yet, so we're gonna do the first of two unboxings today. Here, yes, I've been watching my streaming friends. Hi, Witty. I know how to do unboxings now. But he sent me something I have had my eyes on for a long time. Yes, indeed, a blast from the past. The Grenadier models, Dragon Lords, Ninja, and Samurai Adventurers. How about that? Look at that. I imagine walking into a hobby shop these days and this stuff is just sitting on the shelf. I love a box. I love my stuff in a little box, you know? Whoa. Let's see what we got here. Look at this. I bet this brings back memories for some of you. The blue foam. How about that? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Smells like a good old fashioned basement. Woo! Yes. Great stuff. Look at this. Right out the bat. First one I see, I'm in love. Ninja with a scythe. I love a good mini scythe. Look at that. I love the detailed in the proportions of these things. You know, just a little chunky. That's how I like my models. A little chunky. Hey, don't get your mind out of the gutter there. I'm talking minis. Here we go. Oh, let's fix his blade and show him in all of his glory. That's a classic. Right there with the katana, ready to strike. Look at that. There's a whole bunch of them in here. Samurai. Look at that guy. Really cool stuff. I love these. Anytime I see, oh my God, are you kidding me? We got a blowgun. We got a blowgun. One of my favorite weapons to use in Ninja City. Right in the eye. Every time, when I was a kid, I was known for my spitballs. I was masterful at spitballs. So I have an affinity towards the blowgun. But I tell you what, I had this memory. Every time I would do spitballs, one of them would always end up in my poor mother's eye. I remember being in the food court at Crystal Mall. Must have been about 86, school shopping. She's buying me new shoes with the Velcro. And boom, I got her right in the eye. And you should have heard her yell at me. Boy, that was a day. Anyways, that's what I got in the mail. I'm going to open up one other thing in a minute when my buddy Shane comes on because we're going to be doing a tandem unboxing. But before we get into that, let's get into the crypt. No, not the crypt of cool. Wisdom check. Hold on. Fez attack. Get ready. There's going to be a couple of them tonight. All right. As I always do, I pull a card for you. Let's see what the Garbage Pail Kid gods tell us this week. This week, we have Nick Dagger reversed as the King of Swords. Don't worry. It's going to be okay. You should never get worried when you get a reverse tarot. It's just telling us, what could you do to maybe turn this the right side up? Here we go. Nick Dagger, King of Swords. When reversed, the King of Swords indicates that there's a major imbalance of power going on. It could be that you're feeling powerless and bulldozed by a ruthless authority figure. Other times, this card indicates that you're allowing power to go to your head. Remember, your words can cut like mixed daggers. Consider your words carefully before letting them fly. Think before you speak, friends. Now, the King of Swords upright to me has always kind of represented logic, acting decisively, cutting through the baloney, and charting your path with confidence. So I'm looking at the reversed, not only for what they said in this oracle, but also maybe you're on a journey and you're kind of stuck and logic isn't making sense for you. And you've gone on maybe the opposite of logic, emotion, and your compass is a little bit messed up. Here's my advice to you. Stop for a second. Don't rush. Think. And the path will show itself. But you got to be patient for that stuff. All right. Yeah, Ponzanel says, weird. Nothing like that going on. No authoritarianism. Ponzanel, I love you, baby. All right. And so it works organically every week. I pull the card, I open to a random spot, and they bridge. So let's talk. Who are we talking to today? Ha ha. My old pal, Jimmy Epictetus. He's from Greece. Here we go. Self-importance. Once again, I think the card had to do with humility. Self-importance is not the way of the true philosopher. Nobody enjoys the company of a braggart. Don't oppress people with dramatic stories of your own exploits. Nobody cares that much about your war stories and dramatic adventures, though they might indulge you for a while to appear polite. To speak frequently and excessively of your own achievements is tiresome and pompous. You do not need to be the class clown, nor do you need to resort to other indelicate methods in order to convince others that you are clever, sophisticated, or affable. That's something to think about. I've been going to a bunch of cons, and to me, there's 3 con attendees that I meet when I'm at my table. All right? First one, completely harmless. They nod, maybe whisper, hello, and they'll touch one of your books with 2 fingers, smile at you, and walk away. God bless them. Have a wonderful convention, you meek soul, who is probably very, very kind. You're just a little shy. No problem with those people. Then you have the wonderful people. Hello, how are you? And one of my favorite things is when they come up and they say, tell me about your work. Nothing else. Tell me about your work. They open the door for reciprocal conversation. Hello, new person. I want to hear about you. And then it's my job in return to say, here's what I do. Tell me a little about yourself. My favorite thing about cons, more than sweeping the money into sandwich bags, is meeting people and having these cool conversations. That's number 2. Number 3, get the crook from the Apollo and pull this one off. These are the ones, the psychic vampires. Now, don't get me wrong. I love all these people, but let's reflect a little bit. They come up to the table, they look around, and they tell you all about the things that they eventually one day want to work on, barely looking at you in the eye, taking up all your time, staying right in the middle of the table so nobody can come. All right? I got to pay for the gas back to Connecticut. All right? And then they disappear. You get spoken at to for a half hour, and they're off into the wind. And they tell funny stories and all that. So what I do, and I'm no genius or expert, never the smartest person in the room, but I was in a meeting today where I was getting heated about something I was passionate about, and there was contrary stuff going on. I picture 3 coins in front of me. This meeting was scheduled for an hour. So I allotted myself 3 coins. All right? They weren't actually on the table. People would think I'm crazy. But 3 coins in front of me. And I realized that was my allowance that I was going to give during this meeting in terms of my input. This was with 12 other people who all had something to bring to the table. So maybe think about that. If you're in an awkward social situation, you don't know, it can be hard to navigate conversations, even with friends, let alone strangers. But think about your talking coins. All right? Once you expend those talking coins, unless somebody passes them back to you, you should probably wrap it up and move on. All right? You don't want to be a psychic vampire. All right? You're going to do fine. Don't worry about it. I love you all. So that's that. Now, Elena, if you will, could you please run upstairs, tell Neon Lord to put down the sausage and come downstairs and hang out with us? Hello, Brian.
Hello. So the wisdom check reminded me of a great quote from the famous movie Army of Darkness, where they say, "Are all men from the future loudmouth braggarts?" Just me, baby. Just me.
Beautiful. Mr. Neon Lord, I have missed you. I know you have been very busy being a good father, a good husband, and a hard worker. Tell us, tell yourself, what's new in the Neon Wasteland?
What's new? So nothing in particular really new per se.
Dude, I get an email every day from a new thing that you made. Maybe in your world there's nothing new, but you are the most prolific person I know.
Well, I mean, it just comes down to the I want to try to at least get one thing to the patrons a day. It's hard. I don't make it. I don't make it. It's hard, but like I try to. But I make up for it in other ways. Like the we did like an Aliens versus Predator adventure where I slid in DLC a couple weeks later to where you could play as the aliens, as the Predator, and as the Terminators, because of course
Wow.
you got to have Terminators if you're going to have a versus. As we all know, back in the Dark Horse days, Batman versus Judge Dredd versus Aliens versus Predator, all the greatest verses of all time. Like it always settled the debate of who would win. You know?
You know what? That's what I love about you. In the 90s, if you and I walked into a convenience store or a comic book store, we would have gone in completely separate directions.
Yeah,
You
100%.
because I that stuff was just too like how are you getting all the soup was just crazy of all these things. And the art that you love was art that I was not into, but I have a newfound appreciation for it. All that, you know, you would know the artist
Yeah,
better
like
than I
Simon
do.
Simon Beasley.
The giant muscle tech
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, Rob Liefeld stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I've asked you this before, but and I mean this sincerely. How and this is to help everybody out there. How do you manage your time? Because you're a dad of two young kids and a loving husband as well, and you have a job that has you on the road all day. How do you produce so much?
So the big thing is, well, like a lot of times I'll write before I go to work too. But the big thing is, like if I come up with an idea, like deliver, like out on the route, delivering mail, I'll like have it all organized and ready for when I get home. I could just crank it out, and then when the kids go to bed, then you do a lot of writing then too. But
When you get an idea, when the muse smooches you on the lips, do you have a
yes,
notebook or do you put it in your phone or is it all in your head?
so I do text to speech because I'm still driving, and I can't pull over and write. I'm just burning the midnight oil, as they say, or day. I don't know what it would be for in the day, but you know what I'm saying. So like I don't have time to sit and write something, so I have to like have a way to get it to where I get home, and it's just like boom, I can get it out. Because
Yeah,
and then it's just like a stupid idea that like it's like all right, I gotta remember this, because half the time if you think about something, you're never gonna remember it.
yeah. Yep. I don't know how you do it. I know you don't sleep that much, and I know you drink way too many ribbits, but you're doing some great stuff and it's inspiring. What's some media that you've consumed lately that you would like to spit back on us?
Well, the greatest of all time, the Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen sleepover party VHS, of course.
Wow.
Everyone's got to have one in their collection. This has the it's the
Oh
pizza
yeah. Yep.
Pizza is on this from this VHS right here.
Now, was that an eBay purchase? Did you search up?
No, I actually found that at the semi-local place I go to in Syracuse called Soundgarden, where I buy a lot of DVDs and Blu-rays. They
Okay.
have my Vinegar Syndrome fix, if you will. There,
Yep.
they have a
Yep.
nice Vincent collection, and then randomly they had some VHSs, and I had to pick it up.
You know, I met the Olsen twins in person once on a job.
Really?
They were the closest thing to actual Fae that I've ever
I mean, I would assume it's pretty much just a displacer beast. One of them is a an illusion, and the other one's the real one. You just don't know which is which.
Oh, that's a great conspiracy to start spreading around.
Or it's a great creature to make.
That's true. Stat it up.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, any new conspiracies you want to share with the rest of the class?
mm, Not really.
Good. All right.
This not. I don't the Y files. You ever listen to the Y files with
I'm sure you've
AJ
sent it to me
and
before.
Hecklefish? He's really awesome because he always does like the crazy stories, like, and then debunks it at the end for the most
Okay.
part, and then like leaves it open. But if like he's really good, and he doesn't get into like the
The political stuff.
ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Well, some of it, but not like that. Like it's like
Not like that. Yeah.
like
Yeah, I know.
presidents meeting aliens in like the
Yeah, 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 yeah,
60s and
yeah.
like stuff like that. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mary Kate Ashley Olsen.
Yeah. That's what I had on my desk at the moment.
That's a perfect mashup with human occupied landfill. Let's make that happen. Okay.
Easily.
Well, thanks, Bry.
Of course.
Hey, should we bring in some of our friends?
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, Elena, could you knock the cannoli out of the Canadian's mouth and have him come in?
Oh, of course. That's my favorite thing to do.
Mr. Shane Kablooey Magid, one of my favorite people. This guy is all over the place in Fairhaven. He is a mover, a shaker, a doer, and a kind soul. Shane, my friend, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. How about you?
I can't complain. Now, you needed congratulations, round of applause for a very successful Kickstarter. You just crowdfunded. Take it away, Shane.
I just crowdfunded Roxy's Rollers, which brings
in hand.
Yeah, that's my test copy. I'm getting the real ones printed up in a couple weeks here.
Awesome.
It just brings in like rollerblading and eventually later on skateboarding and BMX into Fairhaven.
Oh my God. So I have to ask, what is your blacklight skate song? If you had to say DJ, because they're always up in the booth with the tinfoil, mine was. What would you request for your date skate?
It has to be Suicidal Tendencies Possessed to Skate.
Perfect for anybody ready to woo a fellow skater.
Oh,
Jake,
definitely.
What was the process to this incredible project?
Geez, it was like a year in the making. I think it was shortly after we first met online and talked for a bit, and I just kind of, for some reason, rollerblading or roller skating came into my mind at about 3 a.m. one day. And I just started putting it together, and then I started thinking, how am I going to fill 28 pages with roller skating? Then I realized that the natural progression was into skateboarding and then BMX. So I thought, well, there we go. We've got some stuff going for if you kind of get sick of playing a TV host, or you just need some NPCs or whatever, or you're chasing after those little bastards and you got to grab a bike or a skateboard off somebody, like in Back to the Future when he grabbed that skateboard off those kids, and are you going to be able to do it or not?
So what can people expect in the book? How can they use this book as a gaming device?
So there's pretty much there's 3 ways. The big one is that I've statted out simple ideas for roller skating, skateboarding, and BMX.
Okay.
Then I threw in some NPCs for people to for the station managers or whatever to use the way they need to. And then the big way is kind of following your idea, where it's a lot of ads and stories that drop in story beats and things that you can cling on to.
Cool, man. Yeah. I've read it. He sent me a copy, and folks, you are missing out if you don't pick this up. So you had a very successful Kickstarter. You crossed the $1,000 line. You got to throw in some extra stuff there. What are you most proud of in this project?
That I finished it.
Tell me. I had a feeling you were going to go that way. Tell us about that for people out there who are getting into zines or writing adventures. What was the challenge, and how did you get over that mountain, Shane?
So the thing is my whole life I've had a problem with starting and not finishing things. Found out a year ago the only test I ever passed with 100% was that I was ADHD, which actually helped me finish this because I kind of understood what was going on. I made a promise to myself that I wouldn't do a Kickstarter unless it was completed.
Okay.
Now I kind of broke that because I have a stretch goal that I'm trying to finish right now for this one about wrestling.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, Brian's bad influence on me. Because of his recent Neon Lords one. But I mean, the process for me, I'm insomniac too, so I just kind of late at night when I'm really tired and it gets really weird, I think it's the best time to write WHBA stuff. So I just let it go. I just write. Probably 75% of what I write goes in the waste bin.
Okay.
Because it's too weird, too strange. I just do it. Make some friends with people in the community. Show it off. Like, Brian Spellburn's been a kind of a sounding board for a lot of the ideas I have. We kind of throw stuff back and forth at each other with what we do, and there's a couple other people out there too. And just more or less, throw it all together that way. Dig into a lot of old magazines, a lot of old media.
Yep.
A lot of the adverts I've done in here are takeoffs. Like there's a comic book advert for a comic store, and it's Mile High Comics, but I changed the name to Mile End. And the comic books featured in there are actually tributes to a lot of you guys.
Oh, well, thank you. All right. Hey, when you were a kid, what was the skate scene in your area?
So I didn't skate, but there was a pretty good skate scene in our area. We're like, think of like a Midwestern city for the States.
Okay.
And what we're like. We're in the foothills, so there's a lot of the Rockies. So there's a lot of hills and stuff to skate up and down on. Done some parking lots. And a lot of bored kids that just needed something to do. I couldn't skateboard because I was a semi-pro ski racer, and it was a completely different movement. Completely different movement. So every time I tried to skateboard, I landed on my ear.
On your ear. That's not good.
He pizzaed when he should have French fried. That's why.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly.
What, do you still ski?
I haven't for a few years now. Just a few medical problems in the way, but I plan on getting back out there.
We skied when I was little, but man, last time I got in a mountain, I looked out. I'm like, yikes! I'm a little bit too high off the ground. I don't know. We're about the same age, Neon Lord too, and I just remember how awesome. Well, first, two things: how awesome skate culture was back then, when it was truly rebellious, where it was bad. That was cool.
Do you remember the stickers everywhere that they got from I think Thrasher magazine?
Thrasher, man.
Skateboarding is not a crime.
Yeah, man.
Was it Thrasher or was it Transworld that did the skateboarding's not a crime?
Oh, it could have been Transworld, yeah.
Thrasher though was the OG.
No, and Big Brother was
black and white. Shane, I'm so glad you brought that. They had that black and white page in the back where it was like whatever, 5 stickers for $1 or something. And I love that. And even Thrasher. Like the Vision boards, the Santa Cruz boards, Powell Peralta. Yeah. That was such an aesthetic, and it was like never seen before. It was so cool. And I remember I always wanted the skater haircut, which to me was the one shaved side, like the original Tony Hawk, and combed. Not in the Royale house. You kidding me? You get a flat top and you get nothing, kid. But that was so cool. And now
I think the whole skate scene was the beginning of like independent t-shirt companies too, like that branched out everywhere into like, the rave scene and surfboards and everything. But I think that was one of the beginnings of that.
We're going to pretend like it is. Yeah.
What was your, if I wasn't a hardcore skater, I was more of a collector. I didn't have the athletic ability, could never ollie, but I was a Santa Cruz guy. I had this sweet-ass Corey O'Brien ramp deck, which was the Grim Reaper with the fireball. And I found one not too long ago. I'm going to hang up on the wall. What was your thing?
Alien Workshop was big. I like Toy Machine a lot.
So you're talking like the CCS phase. Remember getting those catalogs?
Oh, yeah. CCS. Me and my cousin Matt still talk about CCS. I pull them up every once in a while, the PDFs of scans of them.
Yeah. There's an archive of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Our buddy Elena wants to know, and as a former Zoomies employee, Neon Lord, this one goes to you. Vans or DCs?
Well, it's got to be Vans because I still wear Vans to this day.
Shane?
I'd have to say Vans too, the checkerboard ones.
Checkerboard slip-ons. You ever listen to Suicide Machines, the Vans song?
Oh yeah.
That's a good one. Are you a Propaganda fan?
Yep.
Very Canadian.
Yeah, Propaganda, Dayglow. What else was there? SNFU from up in Edmonton there. Yeah.
Very nice.
Wow. I had a lot of those compilations back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, there was nothing cooler than getting a CCS and seeing all the boards that were just there. If I could go back, I'd get them. I had a friend when I was living in the city who collected decks. He had like a museum, thousands of dollars. This is what he spent all of his money on, just on classic decks.
Yeah, did you see that they have blind bag garbage pail kid decks?
I did. I did. The blind bag garbage pail kid decks. They look like they're a stick of gum. You open them up, and they had everything from like radioactive atom bomb. It was all atom bomb, right, Bry?
I don't.
The first series
know.
was. Then they expanded on some other ones, but they had like glow in the dark ones, chroma ones, holographic ones. That would be really cool. But Shane, roller skating didn't have the sparkle, but it's still a big part of a lot of our childhoods. One of Neon Lords and I's first conversations when we first started to hang out was about the roller derby TV show that would follow WWF on Saturday mornings with the Alex pit. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Do you still have roller skating rinks by you?
So we had one that I paid homage to in the book there. I closed down about 3-4 years ago, and it was like a family-run one that was around for, I think, about 40 years.
Yeah.
Lloyd's Roller Rink.
We just got rid of ours. They tore it down. The roof was beyond repair, and the landlord didn't want to fix it. It was beautiful. It had the little, that little open area in the middle where you could hang out. They had the best pizza in the world, gooey, crappy pizza over on the side. They had a couple of old video games. They're not trying to be kitschy. They just had old games there. It was a family-run one. And then they had the skate shop inside where you could buy new wheels or cool glow sticks or the neon shoelaces. That was really cool. But that they plowed that down. That's a parking lot now. It's like a damn Kink song. But
I was about to bring that up. That song.
Come Dancing.
Yeah.
I thought with Brian's love of Canada, he was going to bring up Joni Mitchell. They paved Paradise and put up a parking lot.
Oh yeah. The Kinks. The only reason I know it is because the band Good Riddance did a cover of it.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I'm a big Kinks guy. I'd probably at this point in my life more so than the Beatles or the Stones. I know, hot take. What are you gonna do? Fight me?
No, I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the Misfits more than I like the Beatles or the Stones.
Well, yes, I get that. You are not a traditionalist, and that's what I love about you, Mr. Neon Lord.
Yeah, I mean, I don't listen to that. I don't listen to like either of those bands.
The Rolling Stones or the Beatles.
Yes.
Oh boy. All right.
I think the Clash wrote a song about you.
What's that?
Well, it's just in. I think I'm so bored with USA. No more Beatles, no more Rolling Stones.
Anyways, before they start coming for us, Shane, congratulations. I'm very proud of you. You pushed through, and you brought up something interesting. I was talking to my wife about productivity and following through with projects, and she's got ADHD. And she said she was reading an article to me about the release of endorphins. So a person with ADHD, when they are inspired to do a project and take the first couple of steps, they have a fast blast of endorphins that really gets them going. But that fades more quickly than a neurotypical person. And as a result, that it crashes. And you move on to the next thing to get that next burst of endorphins. Is that
I've got about 20 projects on the go, but I want to show something, especially for you and Brian, is this is ready for Zine Quest and it's for
my God.
Yeah, I've already seen like that. It's insane. He's a machine.
All right, elevator pitch, Shane. Elevator pitch.
For this one?
Yeah.
It's a mid to late 80s band that I still love to this day. Populated itself. They had their own version of My Favorite Things called Can You Dig It? And I just basically statted out each line of the song, turned it into something playable.
You're saying the name wrong though. Can you dig it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Shane, is this for Neon Lords?
They're from the Warriors, so.
Is this for Neon Lords?
This is for Neon Lords, but in a way, it's kind of system neutral too.
Okay, cool. All right, and when is that going to be hitting the streets?
I wanted to go for Zine Quest.
February? Is that February still?
Yeah, February, yeah.
All right, listen, everybody out there in Spaghetti Land. It's a great time to make something. Don't let all these Goliaths saturate crowdfunding sites. Let's bring crowdfunding back to the people that really need it, the people that actually need to crowdfund in order to produce this stuff and to pay artists and not AI. Right, Bri?
Yeah, absolutely.
All
The
right.
John Connors of the world that we are, we must unite to fight our cybernetic overlords. Yeah, come with me
hey,
if
Shane,
you want
can
to.
you stick around for a little bit and hang out
Sure.
with Jefferson? All right. Elena, could you get Jefferson to come down? He's gotten into the wine.
Oh, no. Yeah, I'll bring him.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very happy to introduce, and I'm excited to meet him for the first time, virtually, visually, and all that. We just have talked online a little bit. Look at this handsome devil. Boy, I like his style. Hello there, Mr. Dunlap. Oh, yes.
Hello.
What are we sipping on this evening?
It's called Electra Black.
Electra Black?
And it's a very strange, it's kind of fuzzy for a red, which is weird.
Almost like a Beaujolais?
Yeah, and my wife took a sip of it and she's like, yeah, it's all yours.
Okay, well.
Oh, and she's laughing in the background.
All right. Well, you just uncovered a big life hack. Buy the wine that the wife does not want to drink, so you have to finish it before that gets bad. Jefferson, we have you on tonight for a couple of reasons. You are active and awesome in both the Neon Lords Discord and the Weird Heroes, the Get Haunted Industries one, as is Shane. Once again, everybody, if you have not joined the Neon Lords Discord or the Get Haunted Industries Discord, we invite you. We'll put links in the show notes, but both are extremely, weirdly so, supportive, close communities that welcome all. Except if you're a racist or a Nazi, you're not allowed. Duh. But as Shane has mentioned, it's a great place where people lift each other up from helping to finish projects, come up with ideas for projects, resources for projects, art, the whole nine, or just talking to somebody when you need to talk to somebody. So check that out. And that's how I met my friend Jefferson. I'm going to start this interview. Brian's going to pick it up because he let me in on some lore about Jefferson's background. The reason you and I are talking right now, J-Dog, if I may, you are taking role-playing games to incarcerated persons. You are playing Dungeons & Dragons with prison inmates.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on the show.
Oh,
this is
You're
amazing.
Quite welcome. You're quite welcome.
Tell me about this whole story because it is wonderful.
All right. So I'm going to try to keep it short because it's kind of a long story, but I'm going to keep it short. So back in COVID, when COVID started, a group of us wanted to play D&D. We want to play D&D online. Like we're all inside, we're all going crazy. So Mike Merles, one of the designers of 5e, wanted to get a group together. So he invited me, Chris Lindsay, Alex Kammer, the guy who runs Gamehole Con.
Oh yeah.
Kurt Gold, who used to be our head of logistics and shipping at Wizards, and Secretary of Washington State, Steve Hobbs. That's right, Secretary of State.
Wow.
So during COVID, we played D&D, and there was actually one time we got to get together, like near the end of COVID. Alex flew out from Wisconsin, and we had like a 4 or 5 hour finale in person. It was awesome after playing online for so time. So I became friends with Steve, and Steve Hobbs is in charge of being Secretary of State. He's in charge of libraries. He's in charge of Washington State prisons. And so how it started out is he would ask me, hey, I want to get into D&D in libraries, so Wizards donated some starter sets, and Steve said, hey, would you come out and demo at these libraries? So I've been to a few places in Washington State with him, running games, drove to Yakima, which is a few hours away, drove to near Portland. And one day he calls me up and says, "Hey, how would you like to? Would you be cool for demoing at the Walla Walla State Penitentiary, which is the big state penitentiary that's in Washington State, which is about 4 hours away from
Okay.
here?"
Wow.
Yeah, no. So my wife and I we took time off. We drove and we were going to take we took like almost a week and then yeah, and we hung in Walla Walla, and then uh one day we went to the prison, and it was eye-opening. It was
Yeah.
because of like just the security that was involved with it. And like I had to fill out a whole thing. They did a whole background check on me. I cleared it.
Good.
and
Good. Good. Good.
which was good. Uh but that's kind of how it all started. And I talked with work, and work was totally down with it. They thought it was it was a great idea. And man, I tell you what, it was something. It was life-changing,
So,
honestly.
um, what was what was the buy-in like? So you walk in. There's I'm guessing the recreation area, and did people sign up for it? Did you have to talk people into it?
We were guests because they already were playing D&D.
Oh wow.
So here's what happened. Here's another quick story. So when
Yeah.
Steve took over, when he became Secretary of State, it was outlawed in prisons. And the
Right.
reason it was outlawed in prisons was because not so much about gambling. For years, people thought, oh, it's the dice and it's all that. No, 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 no.
That's the story I heard. Yeah.
What it has to do with is power. What it has to do
Mm.
with is like having power over someone else. And that is what was thought. But then, about the same time that Steve became the Secretary of State, the person who took over the prisons for Washington State came from a psychology background, and sort of like then more so coming up through the prison system. And when Steve approached her and said, who, again, since I played D&D with him, he is a longtime fan of Dungeons and Dragons. He approached her and said, hey, let's see about getting D&D in prisons, because for a while there were people that were sneaking stuff in,
Hmm.
and certain
Oh,
people could have lost their jobs for doing that. But the head of the prisons was like, of course, yes, because one of the things that's happened with the popularity of 5e is there's been a lot of reports of psychiatrists that are just saying like, we use this to help people to in our therapy sessions,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
or
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and so there is a new person who's in charge of the system, which this was so weird. They had me come into their meeting. And so I'm like, I just work at a game company. I'm just a dungeon master. I'm nobody. But they just had me in there, and I got to hear, about this, about how that the prisons they're more about reform now more than ever. So just like having them be able to play D&D, having them to be able to have this library where they can play. So they were all ready for us. And so when we get in there and we get all our stuff, we couldn't bring our phones, we couldn't have anything none of that stuff in our pockets or anything like that. And they walk us back through the library. There was there was 3 games already going on.
Wow.
So, and and they sat and I had a group that was with us that I was running the demo for. And man, I tell you what, the hardest thing for me was like, talking with them and hearing how enthusiastic they were. So I was like trying not to get choked up the whole time. You know what I mean?
I hear you, man. Like I saw a T-shirt when I was a kid, and it stuck with me forever. Everybody was once somebody's baby.
Oh
You know?
yeah. Everybody has a mother.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just, and like my one player, man, he was young. That was
Yeah.
hard. But
Yep.
you know what? Um, Pierre and Noah and Ian, I'm never gonna forget their names.
Yeah.
They were in my group. And Steve was Secretary Hobbs was
Secretary
in my group.
Steve. I
He
tell
was
you what, man, that is no small accomplishment. What you did is truly good in the true definition of the word good. that, people make mistakes, sometimes horrible, horrible mistakes. But nobody deserves to be completely ignored. There has to be some kind of warmth that we can melt a little bit, and you did good work with that, buddy. I want to give you something in honor of this. If you could bring this to the prison library so they have something to do. I have a really nice copy of Mutant Crawl Classics I'd like to donate.
Yeah.
This
Hell
is
yeah.
from my buddy, the Scott collection. So I'd like to send this your way. We'll talk afterwards. So maybe
Definitely.
they can experience the radiated DCC future with MCC. So that's going to be going your way as a thank you on behalf of humanity for seeing the good in a very bad situation.
You are quite welcome. Yeah, they when I was talking to the librarian there, he said that the number one thing they read in the library is fantasy.
Oh, well, good. I will add some more stuff to that pack too. Jefferson, I'm going to take one quick break as Neon Lord gets his questions ready. Shane, let's do a quick commercial break where you and I do the unboxing. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into a very interesting conversation between the Neon Lord and Jefferson, this one's going to go a little bit longer tonight. Elena, are you okay with that? Okay. The check's in the mail. We both received a package this week from Horse Shack. Nope. Sorry, I'm stealing your joke, Shane. Horse Shark Games, Ann Arbor, Michigan. I know a gentleman with a very long, well-conditioned beard from that area. His name is James Posnell, and he's one of my favorite, oh my God, favorite people in the world. Shane, you got it open?
James is in the chat too.
Hi, James.
Hey, James.
Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. You got these, Jane? Look at this. Look at these beautiful color character sheets for Netcrawl, James's world, where we are inside of a computer network. And I will sell this to the end of the world because I am a Luddite. I am not good at technology. I don't know this or that. I still got AOL CDs. But this guy makes it accessible. Look at that map. I read this. This is what I said the other day on another interview. Posnell's the kind of guy where I enjoy his work as both a fiction writer and a game designer. Like, I can read these books. I've read some of his previous ones that he put out through Goodman that I just sit down and read them, and they make sense to me.
He's in a world of his own.
Yep. He's going to be coming on pretty soon. Shane, what's that you got there?
It looks like the sticker, some of the Netcrawl bookmark. It looks like another sticker. The QR code.
Man, this thing is just chock full. Now look at this, folks. This is Netcrawl. This is the 2025 version. This is a self-contained role-playing game in which you enter the network. You are coherent data traveling at the speed of light, a digital avatar searching for computerized information. There is something hidden in the virtual realms, and you shall hack it. Congratulations, James, on an absolutely beautiful.
Is there adventures in the box too?
I have not with this box. I got the basic, but I do have all of his previous work. And you talk about graphic design, Bri, isn't it beautiful?
Oh, it's phenomenal. I was just wondering because I wrote an adventure for Netcrawl.
I know. I was
hoping it was in there.
I was throwing the pitch over the whatever they call
the home plate.
So can I point out too?
What's that?
This thing is soft touch cover.
Ooh,
and it's not one of the cheapos. It's got like actual colored end sheets, not just the plain white. And it looks like it's stitched binding because you can see the eye in there when it starts.
Yeah, I mean he John Hammond up those books, spared no expense.
Look what we're looking at here.
Phenomenal
and it smells beautiful.
Color throughout. No expense was spared. With a beard like that, I would expect nothing less. Yeah, this is really cool stuff. This is very accessible. Don't be scared if you're not a tech person. I am not, but I love the idea of
No, it's like Tron.
Go ahead,
Yeah, Tron, and I always talk about the old ill-fated '90s 3D generated cartoon reboot.
Oh yeah, sure.
So that was my big point of inspiration when I was making my adventure.
So what is your adventure about, Bride?
So my adventure is called "Do Cybernauts Dream of Electric Goblins?"
Oh, Mr. Philip K. Dick over there.
Yeah,
That's a
so
good
it's
name.
essentially an MMORPG. So it's the book Snow Crash mixed with an MMORPG. So Electric Goblin sent out a neurovirus through the net that caused people to go into a coma, and they would fill in as NPCs in his MMORPG world called Unicorn. And so you are sent in from your fixer to fight your way through the Electric Goblin's digital dungeon and set the people free.
Cool.
Is the
That is very
TLDR of it.
cool. This is really cool stuff. This is untapped territory. Sure, you have cyberpunk and you have all this other stuff. This is very different. This is its own genre. Wouldn't you agree, Neon Lord? You're more
yeah.
of the cyber guy, but I think this has its own planet in the
Yeah,
solar.
100%. It's like we always talk about. There's when you play like cyberpunk style games, there's always the hackers play their own game while everyone else is playing like the other game. Because it's kind of so like it's essentially taking the best of it and putting it all together to where you don't have that like side game of like the hacker doing his weird whatever in whatever system it could be. Like net crawling, I guess, essentially.
I'm sold. I got it. I love it. And I urge you all to check it out. We will put that in the chat and in the notes. And now we're going to transition into I'm handing the microphone to the Neon Lord because he's got some very interesting information and questions.
Well, I may not have questions. I'm just very interested in Jefferson's pedigree, and I want to hear some.
Wait, my what? My what?
Pedigree, right?
Right before we get into that, I want to give a shout out to my friend Rocky. Rocky Gardner is a wonderful guy, friend of the show, friend of all of us, and a special friend to Ian McGarty, who is a close friend of all of ours. They both make up Silver Bullet Games. Rocky is sick. Rocky is sick again, battling cancer. It's hitting him pretty hard, but there is a GoFundMe that has been set up to support he and his family during this time. And I just want to say, Rocky, we love you. We're here for you, and we're going to advertise this GoFundMe as much as possible so you and your families can get through the holidays and you guys can have some fun as a family as you deal with this. So, Rocky, from the pizza party to you and your family, we love you very much, buddy. And I wish you peace and wellness. So, that being said, Neon Lord and Jefferson, showdown.
So, the big thing is I always like to find out how people got into games. So, what was your gateway game?
Oh, man. My first gateway games when I was in elementary school was those Avalon Hill war games, like Gettysburg and Midway, and with the little cardboard pieces on the hexes. That was like the first thing, and then I was like best friends with a dude that was like a part of five brothers, and his older brother came home to college one summer, and he said, "I played this new game called D&D," and he showed it to us, and it was like that was it. That was it. We were sold. And we played D&D a long time until Champions came along, and boy, did we play a lot of Champions because we were all comic book dudes. Me and the brothers. We would every week we drive to Pittsburgh 30 miles to go to the comic book store and get our comics, and we had to like rock paper scissors who's going to drive because the person who drove couldn't read his comics on the way home.
Yeah. That's how I always make my wife drive when I get all my comics so I can sit and read them all before we get home.
Yeah, and before that, we used to get them at the College Hill drugstore, where they were like in they were in like the magazine things, and if we didn't have like a quarter or 50 cents, we'd hide them behind the magazines until we would get to be able to pick up, that is newest issue of Spider-Man or Fantastic Four. So,
What is the Mount Rushmore of superheroes for Jefferson?
oh man, that's a hard one. Well, I mean, that's an obvious
Oh yeah,
answer.
that's
Uh,
cool.
Um, and even my wedding ring is stainless steel with a Superman S on it.
Cool.
Um, but it would be Superman, Walt Simonson's Thor, Marv Wolfman, George Perez's Teen Titans, Burns' Fantastic Four. Uh, those were like definitely my solid superhero stuff. But I like all types. And then when I discovered the indie stuff, like Grimjack and Scout and American Flag and Mage and all that stuff. But yeah, I would say Superman and the ones I just mentioned, definitely.
Very cool. So then, how did you get involved with Wizards? Like, what's that? What was that like?
Oh,
Yeah, I
all
don't
right.
even think we talked about that. So
Oh
Jefferson,
yeah,
you were employed by Wizards.
I am. Yes.
You are currently.
Yeah.
Okay, go,
Current-
go. I love this.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, we probably should have did a nice introduction for Jefferson, but
so I basically in like 92 loaded up a U-Haul in Pennsylvania and said, what's the farthest point on the map in Pennsylvania? And Seattle. So drove to Seattle with all my stuff, didn't have a job waiting for me, didn't have a place waiting for me. Just kind of worked, you know, just kind of did remember temp jobs? Did a lot of those.
Yeah, yeah.
And to become, because I've come from a graphic design background and a technical background, I got a job at a service bureau called CMYK. And service bureaus back in the day used to print film for people who wanted to get books printed before digital printing. You had to go to a service bureau, they print the film, then the film is what goes to the press. Well, when I got there at CMYK, they were doing stuff for Wizards. And I had already just started playing Magic. And I think the first set I worked on was at CMYK was like, I want to say Fallen Empires or something like that. I think it
yeah,
was.
yeah.
And like it was like during Gen Con, and no one was at Wizards. They were all at Gen Con except this one art director. And I called him up and I said, hey, you got a blue card here, an unsummoned, but it has a red mana on it. I'm pretty sure that's wrong. And she was like, oh, yeah, yeah, don't run that. And then when everybody got back on Gen Con, the Wizards dude called my boss and said, hey, we want that guy doing all our stuff because he plays the game. And then about a year working at CMYK, I get a call from Wizards and they say, hey, you want to come set up pre-press and do film for us on site? And and get us image setters, get us proofing equipment, and you've been doing it for a year at CMYK. Do you want to just do it on site? And their biggest reason for wanting to do it on site was because of timing. They just
Right.
wanted to be able to they didn't want that. They wanted to be the only customer. They didn't want to have to wait because at the time, all the stuff was being printed in Belgium. So film had to be done, proofs had to be done. Then you had to pack it up in a thing and stick it on a FedEx plane and send it to Belgium. So that's kind of how that started. My first day was January 3rd, 1995.
So you worked there before D&D came
Yes.
to Wizards then, just
Yep.
strictly when it was Magic.
Yep.
And then
Magic.
Netrunner and stuff too at that
Oh
point.
yeah, I was there for Netrunner. I was there for Vampire, Jihad, and
Yeah,
then it was
Jihad,
called,
yeah.
and then it was called. And actually, I'm on a card.
You are on a card?
Yeah.
Oh
I'm on a
yeah,
card.
yeah.
I'm on a card. Yeah, it was in the Sabat set. I think somebody's going to get the painting. She is going to get the painting.
Yep, they're up on
Ooh.
eBay, so you could get your Vampire Jihad
So,
card, find
for
Jefferson
my-
at a con, and he could sign it for you.
So for my birthday one year, my wife and my friends got this for me. This is the actual painting. There it is,
Oh, wow.
done by Sandra Everingham.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a long 90 94, 95, something like that. So, so yeah, so right now I'm the pre-press manager and archivist at Wizards. And
So what does
basically
that entail?
what that means is that every job that gets printed goes through me. If it's cards, if it's books, I check it, make sure it'll print right, make sure make sure the settings are right for the vendor, and then I send it off to the vendor. And then it gets archived. So if someone's like, hey, I need that dragon from 1980, what? I can pull it up and send it to them.
So then you were there with the infamous storage unit that they found full of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you mean a TSR?
Oh yeah. So that was TSR. My bad. So
Oh yeah. So
completely...
here's the quick story about the TSR thing. So when Wizards bought TSR, which by the way, the reason that happened is because Peter Atkinson didn't want D&D to die. Straight up,
Okay.
D&D would have
Okay.
died because at the time TSR was bleeding money. They owed a lot of money to things. Then Peter says, you know what? We're going to save D&D. So because of the popularity of a little known game known as Pokemon, Peter's like, yeah, we're going to do it. And when the TSR buildings were being cleared out, the person who I don't know who did this, but told the janitor, hey man, just throw stuff out. So when two art directors from Wizards showed up, Tom Waterstrand and Don Murin, who actually was working at TSR, they go out, they see them. This guy's throwing away Jeff Dees. This guy's throwing away Larry Elmore's. It's like, what are you doing? So they saved as much as they could. But and yeah, that was now the storage unit. I wonder what that story is. But that was
Maybe
like
I think it was probably that one. I thought there was like I think Saul, either you or Saul were telling me about a storage unit that like they uncovered over the years that was just filled with just product that nobody... like it
oh,
was off
whoa,
the
whoa,
books.
whoa, whoa, whoa. There was, we did find a storage. There was a warehouse that had a bunch of had legends. Remember legends?
Oh my God.
Cases of it. So what happened is, and I forget what set it was in, but we seeded legends cards in the packs.
Yeah. My son was just telling me about this the other day.
Yeah, that's why we did that. Now, what was kind of interesting about that is we had volunteers to go through every pack because there were certain cards and legends that aren't culturally sensitive now. Do you know what I mean? That there was like, that's back then that would have flew, but right now, it's pretty bad.
Yes,
so there was a certain cards that had to be pulled out.
They're
But
called. They have a name. I forgot in the community about what they're called. I remember Cleanse is one of them, and
yeah, Jihad, Crusade. I know.
Invoke Prejudice is particularly troublesome. Yeah.
Yep, and I'm glad I have a copy of it because now it's worthless. I wish I sold it before it went banned.
Oh man,
it was a $400 card forever.
But they have Legends has like All Hallows Eve, Chains of Mephistopheles. There's some heavy hitters there.
I mean it's reserve list.
I used to carpool with the writer of Legends. He went to school with Peter Atkinson at WAMU at Walla Walla. His name was Steve Connard, and he was one of the designers for Legends. And he was like a power gamer. That was the thing that was funny about like when they started Wizards, like Atkinson and all those friends. They were like super power gamers in D&D. They were like they wanted to play like demigods and stuff. So like the first Wizards product was called Primal Order, which was for D&D where you play gods. This was before Magic, and it's before D&D, before any of that. But yeah,
interesting.
Well, Legends is some of my just as a whole set has some of my favorite art.
But that was like their D&D characters though, right? Like they turned into Magic cards.
Yep, remember Nicobolas?
Oh, of course, he's my favorite.
Yeah, I call him. I have a nickname for him. Nicky Balls. That's what I call him.
Yeah, Nicol Bolas is like the Thanos of the Magic universe.
I'm looking through, and some of them are really hitting me. Like I've seen these before, like The Gwendolyn DeCourcy one is woo.
Gwendolyn DeCourcy's that's a good card. It's got reprinted.
That's a
no, maybe
spicy
not
one.
Gwendolyn. Wait, Gwendolyn. I don't. She's.
But the art is crazy. Lady Orca, like there's just some really scary stuff in here.
Well, it's like Angus.
Yeah.
Well, when Wizards started out, when Magic started out, a lot of those artists were just there's an art school here called Cornish.
Yeah.
And the main art director is Jesper Myfors. He was a graduate from there, and he just had all his friends.
Oh.
And like,
well, that's like Stasis. That's why, like, isn't it?
Oh, Stasis. That is like Richard Garfield's cousin. She is a actual painter.
Yeah, yeah. She's like, yeah, Pacific, like a famous artist.
Right.
That like before, and then Richard Garfield got her to do this. That's why it doesn't make any sense in conjunction with the rest.
Right,
of
right. It doesn't fit within all the other Magic artwork. And like I mentioned, Tom Warnerstrand, he's like a really good friend of mine. He grew up with Jesper. Like Tom would tell me stories about when him and Jesper were like 8 and 9, they would play with miniatures and they would just make all these big battles. So that's how Tom got into the whole thing.
So what's your favorite color wedge?
I was just gonna ask. What's your favorite
my favorite color? Magic color?
Well, wedge wise, we'll go wedge.
Well, let's go mono first. I want to hear.
We'll go mono. We'll go all the way up to 4.
Okay. I mean, look at me. What do you think it is?
Mono black, of course.
Black. Of
I'm
course
black.
It's
well, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're all mono black, realistically.
But
Drana Calastria Blood Chief was my first love.
Oh, I used to.
I think I might have a Drana sitting on my desk.
Wish for a Nightmare. Remember Nightmare? Oh my goodness! Or Plague Rats. Ooh, baby
Plague
Rats.
I got a German Marrow Gnar on my desk right there.
Nice. How about for Guild?
Yeah, what's your Guild?
Oh boy.
I know what it is. You're a Dimir. You're a Dimir guy.
Probably. Yeah.
Golgari, baby. Golgari, right here.
Yeah. I mean, I do like me a black-red combination.
Ooh,
Rakdos.
Shane, do you play cards? You play cards?
Not at all, actually. I'm sitting here listening to you guys thinking I was spending all my money on music in those days.
Oh, don't worry. Yeah. We're gonna get to that, and we're gonna get to the more expensive hobby made by the Brits in a second too.
Oh God.
So, what's your shard then? Your wedge shard of Alara, if you will, or your Khans block? Three color combination. And why is it Grixis?
Do you play Commander?
I do not play Commander. I've only played a few times. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, no, I mean, here's the dealio. It's like my friend Hans taught me Commander, and I'm like, oh, I get it. I see the appeal.
It's
totally
amazing.
Understand it. And that was like the only time I played. Most of the playing that I do now for Magic is at pre-releases. So every time there's a pre-release on a weekend, we have a pre-release at work on like Tuesdays.
Oh, cool.
I know. It's everything I want in life. He's living my dream.
So we and on Tuesdays we have lunch, which we get food trucks that come, and then we get 6 packs of the latest set. So like this week I got 6 packs of Avatar, the Last Airbender.
What am I doing with my life?
I know. I think I know. I live vicariously through him. I'm always like asking him questions.
Okay,
like, oh,
I'm gonna drop a hot take. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Right. I'm not giving anything away because I can't give anything away.
No, he's good about it.
The Marvel superhero set is killer.
I bet.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Despite the online haters, I'm a huge fan of the Spider-Man set. I think it was awesome. And obviously, I'm gonna go broke when the Ninja Turtle set comes out. Like
I was chomping at the bit because we had announced all these other sets, and then we didn't announce the Turtles. And I was going to Magic Meeting, and I said, "When are we going to announce the Turtles?" And he said, "We're going to announce it at New York City Comic Con." Like we'd already announced all this other stuff. We already announced Hobbit. We already announced Star Trek. We already announced all this stuff. And then it was like, "Well, what about the Turtles? I'm been done with that for months." And it was like, "Nope, New York City." And then when they dropped it, I was like, "Yes." Oh, that's so cool. But yes, just letting you know, the Marvel set, it's hot. Oh, man.
I can't wait. that's on my list too. But like Turtles is number one for
And
me.
it's very, and there's another thing I can share really quick, and it's not really giving anything away. One of the reasons some of those sets are so good is because the guys that are in R&D that are working on them, the people that they get, the men and women in R&D that work on them sets, they are fans of those properties.
Yeah.
Like the Final Fantasy property, that was a hard birth. I tell you right now, but the people behind it were just encyclopedic knowledge of it. So it's not like they were just putting colors and numbers on cards and saying this is this.
Yeah.
It felt like it. It's like, oh, that feels like Sephiroth. That feels like Cloud.
And that's why like Final Fantasy was so well received. Like the big hate on the Spider-Man, I think, is the set size because it's a smaller set. And
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people didn't like that, but like I don't know, that doesn't bother me. But I mean, and you can tell too with the Warhammer Magic set, like those are absolutely phenomenal decks on their own. Like I will never split them up. I have all 4 of them. Like,
and you know what's cool about that? Those guys were great to work with. The
I'm
games
shocked to hear that.
They were great.
I've always gotten in a fight with a Games Workshop guy in my experiences with them.
Those guys they basically said, okay, you're going to do this. And their studio sent us everything. Because what was kind of cool is even though I'm in production, even though I'm on the technical end of it stuff, I was allowed to come in to be a consultant because they knew I was a 40K fan and I played 40K and have played 40K since 87. So they wanted to like pick my brain about certain things and certain aspects. I remember the first meeting was like, well, what about the guns? And I'm like, it's 40K. You got to have the guns. You can't not have guns. It's 40K.
So speaking of that, are you Imperium, Xenos, or Chaos?
I was about to ask what's your Legion.
I already know. I know 2 of his armies, so I'm not going to spoil it. But like,
well, we unfortunately don't have an orc deck, and that's a crime. I just want to say that right now. That's a crime because yes, I have an orc army, but I also have a blood angel army.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say Imperium, but the chaos deck is fun.
The chaos deck, I mean, Cascade is my favorite mechanic. I'm a Cascade fanatic, so I love chaos as it is. I'm a Death Guard player, so anytime I can see Papa Nurgle represented on a card, I'm very happy.
Yep.
Jane, are you a Warhammer person?
Not at all.
No, nor am I. I'm just trying to translate some of this into my brain.
I like looking at the stuff when it's all painted up. It's really pretty.
Yeah.
So, it's really weird. I was living in Maryland in 87, and in that year, in 87, the 2 things that came out, there was no game store, but there was a game store that was in the back of a video store. Like this, like the front end was a video store, and the back end, this dude was like, I'm selling games. And the 2 things that came out in the summer of 87 was Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, that first edition hardbound book, which is awesome. Oh, I still have it from 87, and Warhammer 40,000, the Rogue Trader. Is
the greatest book ever made. I'm gonna die with my copy.
I've
my copy is going in my
coffin.
It is my favorite book ever printed.
So here's the weird thing about it. Here's the weird thing and the neat thing about it is like it was so gonzo back then. I mean, when a company gets to a point where it's like, oh, this is something this is an IP, we have to do this. So then they rein it in.
Yeah.
But man, Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader is just gonzo. It's awesome.
My friend Chef John is in the chat, and he says, I was 40K until they retconned squats.
Okay, well, those are the dwarves.
First of all, squats are awesome. They're biker dwarves from space.
I mean,
what's there not to like?
I was at a convention with Rick Priestley, who created 40K, and he was saying that the only thing about squats is that they had a unfortunate name.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're like their actual name is like Homo rotundus because they're short and round.
Yeah, they're basically a torso and feet.
Yeah.
And
But
arms
yeah, like
and
the
beard.
the lore is that the squats got eaten by the Tyranids,
Yep.
and then they got back with the leagues of Votan, is like squats that were away mining like other planets and stuff, and then came back. They're technically squats, but they're technically not. But
Their stuff's pretty neat. Their
yeah,
lore's
no, they're
kinda neat.
awesome.
It's kinda
I
neat.
like the leagues of Votan, but if you get in the Necromunda world, we got squats all day, baby.
and this is how Neon Lord does 5-hour marathon
I
streams.
know. We can
I
talk about
love it.
anything.
I love it.
I could talk for. Don't get me started on Necromunda. I have two of my best friends, that they're playing Necromunda, the 1995 version, because that's
Crazy.
just how they roll. There's a new version out. We're playing.
Yeah,
a
that's
game
the
we
one
played
I got
back in '95.
I got most of the 95 stuff, and I have a Goliath gang, and like a derelict, however you say it, 95 gang, Delac, and then but like in the new one, I got like a lot of teams in the new one, and then I just started getting into Kill Team too, so I got the Ratlings.
Eat
Rattling
snipers.
This
Yeah,
sounds very expensive.
Neon Lord, we can't bore everybody, you know.
No, it's fine. Hey, for all you 40K fans out there, take a listen to my friend Bolt Thrower 2. Not Bolt Thrower, Bolt Thrower 2.
It's a great
Look 'em
band.
up online, and you will see some of the most amazing 40K grindcore tributes of all time. And he actually, when he played Under the Dice Fest, Jefferson, he has a song about Magic the Gathering that, like, although it was death metal or grindcore, like there was like people were welling up because it was just about like, you know, going through all the sets from when you were a kid to now, and like that journey. Only those that get it will get it, you know?
Yeah. It's weird, man. It is very strange some days. Like, some of the people I work with now weren't born yet
Yeah.
when I was,
Ugh.
you know what I mean? It was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah. I totally get that.
it's just so weird. And it's just, and it's weird for me. It's weird to see this popularity in Magic, and to see the popularity of Dungeons and Dragons, and to see the popularity of role-playing games across the board. It's
Yeah.
just, I love it. And
We're in a renaissance. I would say we are in a renaissance.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely.
I mean, look at Shane's wall.
Yeah.
That's all newer stuff, right, Shane? That's not like a giant vintage collection. That's pretty current role-playing games you have behind you, right?
Pretty current, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
unfortunately, all my old stuff went missing when I moved abroad for a while.
Oh, geez. But I mean, like, I'm going to PAX this weekend. It's going to be all new stuff. This is a very strong hobby right now. Magic as well. I know Elvis, he's saved up his money. We're going to get some cards. It's a great generational kind of passing of the baton as well. There it is. Look at that right there. Look how beautiful that is.
Oh,
That's a great condition.
But if you really want to look at the old stuff, this is a good one here.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, Stu,
I
baby.
just brought it upstairs. I was with Stu yesterday. Yeah,
Nice.
Folio. Fiend Folio is something special.
It is. It's because it's British too.
Shane, could you hold up Stu's book one more time?
By all means, of course.
I try to bring this up every show.
Oh, yeah.
Monsters, Aliens, and Holes in the Ground by Stu Horvath of the Vintage RPG is unbelievable about the history, the ins and outs of games, and it's almost every game. I think the whole story was, Stu said, is like the games he had, the games that he's collected over the years. He's also coming out with a monster book, and I think he's also coming out with a fantasy action figure book. So,
wow.
and he's got a book for Goodman Games coming out.
Does he really?
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, he's looking at the history of Goodman Games. Joseph.
Oh, wow. And folks, Goodman Games fans, the pinball themed games coming out look amazing. That's going to be
I think James
blue and red right there. Two of my favorite colors. Beautiful stuff. Listen, I gotta let Elena go. She's got to go fight crime in her neck of the woods. She's got to don the mask. But I'd love to have both of you back. Shane, you got to come back when that Neon Lords zine comes out. And Jefferson, we got to talk, brother. We have just touched the surface.
I know. I was like, yeah, I'm talking about work, talking about Wizards, talking about my history and stuff, man. I want to talk about other stuff. I could talk about games and RPGs all day
That's
long.
what we do, man. We'll have you guys back on. But
you know, Brian, if you're doing a marathon one and you want to talk about music for 5 hours, give me a call.
Yeah,
Yeah, we could do that. We could do that. We didn't even touch music. Yeah, Jefferson's a huge music guy too.
Yeah, I couldn't.
And Star Wars. You want to do like an 8-hour Star Wars? I'm there.
Wait a minute. Where is it? Oh, there it is.
You guys are crazy. Oh, there it is. Rebel Alliance. Yep. Well, you guys, it's been a long couple of weeks for me, and this has re-energized my soul. There is something magic about the community that comes from gaming. You know, it's. I think when we were kids, people like us, it wasn't always easy. And now that we're older and we have the internet, we can kind of come together and become even more powerful. And you can do that at home as well, friends. Join the Discords for Get Haunted Industries. Join the Discords for Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland. There are some beautiful people out there. That's the only way I would have met these guys. And Brian, it's always great to see you. You're a brother to me. And Elena, you are amazing. And to everybody out in Spaghetti Land, please take care of yourselves. The pendulum swings back and forth. And as I said before, when is the last time you saw the bad guy win? Never! We shall destroy the Death Star again. Until next month, I hope to see some of you at PAX. Remember, give me a shout out. If you see me, yell something, hey, ciao paisana, drink some marinara, and you get a free prize down there. Jefferson, your book is coming in the mail. Mutant Crawl Classics. Postanel, great job. Going to have him on soon. Everybody, Joey loves you. I'll see you next month. Take care of yourself. Adios, amigos.
Peace.